What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Blades and Bait with the Novice Angler. Anyway, today I want to discuss with you about something that you don't really hear or see too much about. And what I'm about to talk about is your, forbidden uh, weapons of mass destruction. It's been banned in this country and is still illegal in many of the states. And what is that? That is your switchblades, your automatic knives. Yes, little something about the switchblades. Uh, the fact is, it's been around since the 1800s, and back then it was just your original one-handed knife that people use. Farmers use it. People who works in the factories use it. And back in the 50s, many of the young gangsters they like to use the switchblades as their primary weapon. So back in 1958, they came out with a Federal Switchblade Act, which deems all automatic knives and switchblades to be a deadly and violent weapon. Even though, of course, nowadays, especially with modern knives that you have available to you, you can use it and you can open it just as fast or faster than a switchblade. Go figure, right? Anyway, let's see what we have and let's go on from there. By the way, guys, if you guys are looking for some very unique, original, custom design tees, anything from your fishing, funny, patriotic, and Christian-based tees, all designed by me or my wife, t-shirts like this, come check out at www.lumenpath.net. And thank you very much for all your support, guys. We appreciate it. Back in the 90s, I had my own knife business. And over time, I was gaining more and more competitors. I decided to do some research. I wanted to sell something that's not readily available. So I start looking and I found me switchblades. Company that I ordered it from is called SKM, Switchblade Knives Makers, directly from Italy. And one of the first knives that I ordered was this one. This is your lever lock. This is also a very similar style that first came out back in the 1800s, and it was very popular, used by farmers, factory workers. It's basically just your first original one-handed knife. And the way that this one works, you simply press down on this lever, and there it is, folks. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful knife? I like the pattern on this acrylic handle here. Partially serrated, your standard stainless steel. It's not the best quality metal, but at the time, that was the main steel type that was available on the knives. But yeah, look at this design, folks. That is nice. One of my personal favorites, too. Got it directly from Italy itself. Maniago, Italy. Back in the early 1900s, they started off with more of your classic design or what most people think of a switchblade, which is something similar to this one. First ones they pretty much came out with was this one. This is or something similar to it. This one is actually called the swing guard. Look at that, folks. This one is made in Korea. I picked this up at a gun show, and yeah, it's basically one of the original switchblades that's out there, um, in this shape. In fact, in World War II, the Italian soldiers was using a similar knife to this as a self-defense or combat weapon. Nice thing about it, it is ultra thin, ultra slim. You can easily hide it. Plus, it have a good solid lockup too. And basically, this is the knife that has been banned because they deem it to be very violent and a deadly weapon. Of course, one of my first actual stilettos that I ordered from Italy was something that's like this. It's your classic stiletto. You have your safety switch right here. You simply press down on the button, and there it is, folks. There is your classic Italian stiletto. I absolutely love that pattern, that checkered pattern, acrylic handles, beautiful, razor sharp, ultra thin blade right here. And the way that you close this one, you press down on the bolster right here and squeeze it tight. Another one of my personal favorites is this one right here. Look at that, folks. This one is made by AKC. AKC, the Automatic Knife Company, has that beautiful, sharp, crisp blade on it. And I like this acrylic, almost like a bone handle pattern on the handle. That is just a beautiful blade. And one of my more popular sellers is this little guy here. Almost reminds me of your classic pocket knife, the canoe-shaped pocket knife. And this one was very popular, especially with the women. Look at that abalone scales on it. And what's cool about this, you press one side, pow, there it is. There's one blade, and there's the other. That is pretty cool, isn't it? Definitely something that you don't usually see out there on the market. The next one that I used to sell was this guy right here. This one was actually called the Peanut. And for something that little, I'm surprised on how powerful and strong that spring is. I mean, it almost jumps out of your hand the moment you press the switch. This one is actually made from your 440 stainless, partially serrated, with your tanto edge on it, textured metal grips, a very long pocket clip. And this one, I was selling it for, I think I was selling it for about $25 back then. Of course, since switchblades and automatics were illegal in most states, and still are, they actually came up with something very ingenious. I've never seen one like this before. From the outside, it looks like your typical folding knife, partially serrated with your stainless steel blade on it. You can use it as your normal liner lock. You can use it with thumb studs to open and close it manually. But one thing about it is this is on how they get around on selling automatics. Then you can actually depress on this handle right here, which turns it into an automatic. Isn't that cool? I've never seen one like that. A dual action, either a manual or an automatic knife. And it wasn't until early 2000s, brand new company at the time came out named CRKT, the Columbia River Knife and Tools. And they came out with something that I definitely never seen before. And I don't think I ever seen one that's similar to this out there in the market. This one is your CRKT blade lock. And what's cool about this is that you press down on the thumb stud right here. Is that cool? Look at that, folks. Partially serrated. And this one is actually made from your AUS 6 steel. A Michael Walker design. Zytel scales. Bronze bearings on it. And the way that you close this one, you simply press down on the thumb stud again. There we go, folks. And finally, something that I found about a couple years ago. It's this one right here. Nice metal handles on it. Look at that, folks. And out of all the knives that you see here, this one is the only one that have your premium steel on it. This is actually an M390 steel, which is considered premium steel. It's made by a company I've never heard of before. It's made by Gertech Knives. Kind of like that, almost like a bronze finish to it. Stonewash handles. Extremely sharp too. This one, I found it online, and I believe I paid about $60 for this one. Anyway, that's just a small example of some of my switchblades and folding knives, automatic folding knives. I'll discuss more about your OTFs or your out the front knives in a later video. But anyway, hopefully you guys have some ideas about switchblades or in automatics. By the way, of course, if you guys want to carry one, buy one, you know, better check with your state's law, because again, in many states, these automatic knives are still illegal. Anyway, guys, if you guys like this video, please give me a like, share your comments down below, and consider subscribing, folks, for more knife, fishing, and kit videos. You guys take care. Talk to you later.